I didn't record on Friday, which is the usual day that I record and upload a video. So hopefully none of you were just waiting there Friday to get one of these videos. I had such a week and it's been an interesting weekend, but I am joyously here with my new piece. And you know what's interesting? This started life as a scarf, and the scarf is here now. It's the back of it, 2 panels, and it's become a piece of clothing because, and I've talked about this many times before because this is the most famous quote of my mother's, novelist Nancy Thayer, New York Times best-selling novelist Nancy Thayer. It's never too late in fiction or life to revise. Welcome back to my channel. Welcome back to my studio. It's Sam from thesamanthawild.com, and I hope this piece looks as good on me as it looked on my wonderful model. Can't quite see all of me, but there it is. If you don't know me yet, I'm really happy that you're here, and I hope you'll give a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe. Mwah! Kissing and hugging all of my subscribers. You know how much I love you. I'm so grateful that you're here with me as we talk about fiber art and weaving and creativity and art and healing. And you know what's really interesting? There are these lovely parallel streams between creativity and healing. And one of the most powerful ways that we can think about our work is in terms of revision, which is what I was talking about in terms of making this piece that started its life as a scarf. Now, the quote that I gave you, my mother's quote, "It's never too late in fiction or life," is so powerful and potent because it tells us about those 2 streams, right? Our creative stream, our artistic stream, our maker, creative artist making life, paralleling our life stream, right? Everything else that we do that isn't just being here in my studio. I have 6 kids, as some of you know. There's a lot of life. In fact, most of my life is not here inside this studio making fiber art. But the lessons that are taught to us at the feet of our creativity are so powerful and potent. We need to, in fact, we must use them in other places. So let's talk about the power of revising. Now, my mother was saying that quote as a writer. Well, I've written a number of novels myself, and I love revising as a writer. In fact, it's as important, significant, and potent and meaningful as the writing itself, which doesn't mean it's always easy. For a lot of people, it's the worst part. But it's interesting to think about revision in terms of the creative process as a visual artist, in terms of making. So with me, I made this scarf. You can see on the back the original design there. And you see the cute little ties that I put under the arm. I like making creative clothing, not just ordinary clothing. Anyhow, that scarf I wove from my own hand-spun yarn. So a lot of this, I don't know if you can see in the sun, but there's lots of dust and fuzz and so floating. And this is primarily a merino Angora mix, Angora bunny, oh my gosh. And there's some rambouillet and there are a couple other things in here. But I spun 95% of the yarn that you see. And I wanted to make something special, and I turned it to a scarf, and then I decided to put that scarf at my weaving shop. If you haven't been there, go to thesamanthawild.com, click the left-hand corner for the weaving shop, or scroll down to get it. It's a really fun and wonderful place to see lots of colorful textural weaving. And now back to our regularly scheduled program. Anyhow, the piece was up on my lady. That's what I call my form, on my lady. And it kept speaking to me, and it kept speaking to me, and it wanted to be something else, and it wanted to be something more. It really, really wanted to be clothing. And you can revise. You can revise when you are making fiber art. You can revise when you are painting, right? You can unpaint. I know an artist friend who had a beautiful painting and then painted white all the way over it and started again. But let's think about why that process is so important and what it teaches us in terms of, first, how we can be artist makers, how we can be creators. We learn that we can be building on the ideas. We can continue to listen for inspiration, even when we think something is, quote, done. But the other thing is, it's so encouraging and powerful for us in our lives, in our personal lives, in terms of our healing and development and spiritual growth as people. When we come to a place in our lives where we think this is done, or this is finished, or there's nothing else I can do about it, to remind ourselves that actually, as long as we're still breathing, it's probably a chance for some revision. A lot of powerful revision is done just in the process of seeing things differently. So if you have a painting or a piece of fiber art or something you've created and you are actually done, or you've sold it, or you're just done, you're not going to do any more with it, part of the revision could be just how you see it. You could be actively revising like I was with this piece, adding on, adding details, allowing it to become something else, allowing it to become something different as it continues to speak to you. Or you could be taking bits and pieces of something you've created and making it into something else. I'm standing in front of a piece of mine that's, I love it. You can't see it right now because the sun isn't behind it. But when the sun comes behind it, it's really like having a stained glass window. And this piece is primarily made from plastic bags. And when I say primarily, I mean the warp is fabric, but the weft is 100% plastic bags. So that is a way of revising, which is to say those plastic bags had a life as a plastic bag, and now they have life as a piece of art. And what we're changing, and what is so healing in changing that, is we're changing how we see things. We're saying, actually, that thing was supposed to be for that purpose, right? Or it seemed like it was for that purpose. Like that event that happened in my life seemed like it was happened for terrible reasons. But I'm actually going to use it for something good. I'm going to let it be part of the structure of something beautiful, of something extraordinary. And to me, doing sustainable art weaving and taking bits and pieces of things, a lot of which is given or donated to me, or people are asking me to weave as part of memory weaving, is that exact practice of healing, which is that things that have been intended for our harm can be used for our good, or things that came along and caused us grief can still be part of creating beauty. I think the hard part comes when we imagine that something is complete and finished and cannot be revised. How about this? Do you like it off? You like the off the shoulder look? Okay, that's fun. I'm having a lot of fun with this. I'm revising even as I'm making this video. No, the truth is we're always doing revision inside of our minds, aren't we? Retelling stories, adding details, taking details, forgetting details perhaps. But we don't always do it intentionally. So to do it intentionally with purpose and with a sense of claiming or reclaiming the beauty or the good, or letting something, whatever that thing may be, a book, a novel, a piece of pottery, a piece of fiber art, a piece of clothing, letting it continue to grow into its fullness. That's what we want to be doing with what we're creating and with ourselves, allowing ourselves to continue to grow. You're not done. You're not fully baked yet. Allowing yourself to continue to grow into the fullness of yourself. And creating helps us, not just because it's a wonderful metaphor, but because we get there, we have new vision to see ourselves and the things we're creating, but primarily ourselves, when we continue to create and to make. Thank you so much for being here with me. Don't forget thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe every week, usually on Fridays. I'm here with another video, hopefully bringing you lots of inspiration, joy in your creativity, encouragement, and support. So thank you all. I hope you have a really creative day.